So there's a couple of things I want to go through today which I haven't shared with anyone in this room. That's some massive hacks in terms of social media growth for anyone who wants to get a fuck ton of leads into their business. So I'm going to share through one of those to kick us off with. But the big thing is, do not share this with anyone else. Do not share this outside of this room, because if everyone starts doing this, it will fuck it up and it won't work as well. So who here's got trial reels or used trial reels? Okay. Who here's posting on trial reels? Okay. Trial reels on Instagram.
If you've not got it, which I've not got on the main account, I've got like the sub account.
It gets like released out kind of in waves. Where's your sub account registered? Philippines. Well, that's why. So yeah, if you get that move the GPS spoofer to the UK, you'll then get trial reels. So who here wants loads and loads of views and loads of traffic for free? Okay, so this is the easiest hack that I'm going to give you straight away, but do not fucking go and tell every Tom, Dick and Harry, because otherwise it won't work. So essentially what you want to do is you want to come to trial reels and you want to go and you want to look through your social media the last 12 months. You want to look at the 20 highest performing reels you've ever had. And then what you want to do is you want to download them, put them in a file, and then you want to upload them every single day on trial reels. Every single day. Exact same ones. The highest performing ones you've ever had before. You just keep reusing them. And because it's not shown to your existing audience. Because all that's going to happen is it's just going to push you to new people who don't know who you are. The reels are already proof of concept that they work, and you can just churn this. So I would just have your setter or VA post that every single day.
The Instagram TikTok sorter as well, do people know about that? Because that's good. It just means that you sort all your reels by views.
Yeah, so there's a Google...
There's a Chrome extension.
Yeah, it's a Google Chrome extension called TikTok sorter. So basically you have trial reels on Instagram. It's basically a feature where you can post a reel and it doesn't get shown to your existing audience. It won't get shown on your feed. You can publish it to your feed if it performs well, if you wanted to. So where there is a massive hack, you can spam the best quality content you've ever had into your Instagram and none of your current audience will see it. So only new people will see it, who you can then pull into your world.
So it's not spamming, because you like you said, it's just...
Well, they've never seen you before.
So that's what you need, post all in one go.
I would try and spread them out a little bit, because the problem is if you try and do 20 in like 20 minutes, the whole thing is going to probably have a meltdown. So like I would do like 2 or 3 in a go and get like your setter or VA to kind of do it.
How often do you do this? How often do you do this?
I would do this every single day.
Well, so what you're saying, it could be 3 of these every day?
You'd post 600, you'd post 600 extra reels a month that would only get pushed to a new audience.
So 20, post 20 every single day.
You literally get 20, like go on your Instagram, use the Instagram TikTok sorter, find the 20 highest performing reels you've ever had the last 12 months, download them, and then upload those every single day in trial reels. You don't even have to put a fucking caption, just post it, and it will just go. Like some of them will just pop, and then when you go in new followers that come into your account, if you go on like the notifications, it will say Nick Jowett followed you from trial reels. So you can see the actual people coming through, and you can see the analytics. But even for example, say you don't get that many views, right? Let's say you got 200 views per trial reel, right? If you're posting 20 a day, that means you're going to get, 4,000 extra views a day? So over a month, that's 10, that's 48, that's 120,000 extra people who didn't know who you were at the start of the month, now who know who you are.
That's like John Lee's method, but it's behind the scenes.
Yeah, because you're not fucking your current audience. You're not fucking current algorithm. Because people, if you did that on your current account, people will start to unfollow you or just kind of mess the whole thing up. So that's a huge, huge hack you can use.
Chart estimator, like the reels which he posted in the last 12 months,
Yeah.
were performing well in terms of views,
Yeah.
not in terms of like somebody
Just chuck.
Thank you.
So like some people, they just put the video,
Yeah.
like a clip, without just with the music. There is nothing, they're talking.
So
they're
then
not.
what I would do, if you've got some content that's performing well for views but not getting any followers or any substance from it, I probably wouldn't use that. So I'd have probably a mix of different stuff in there. So I'd have some that's like very high for maybe just like pure engagement of just views, and then some which is like, okay, this reel's getting us loads of followers coming through or it's getting shared a lot. Ideally what you want is stuff that's going to be shared. So if you can get you'd be good at this, something that's slightly controversial that you can put in trial reels that people share. So like I put up a story yesterday about the CEO who got caught for cheating on his wife. He's got 3 kids, runs a like $1 billion business, and then also has time to go to Coldplay, but you don't have time to scale a business. Like a load of people shared that because they thought it was kind of funny, because it's true. So that's kind of what you want to do, is kind of be slightly controversial maybe in those things as well, and topical, because it's going to pull people in. It's like saying to you in terms of the content thing, it's like, don't overthink it. If you've got an idea of like, I want to try this, if it doesn't fucking do well, it doesn't matter. Like just kind of let go.
Because you want things that are controversial, bring them to your page, and then they see value anyway. So actually, what I have the most of, and we see this video now, has 2.8 million views. It's basically I can throw this actually. So basically, I have this video, a reel that is, see, I think it's on Dr. Phil or something like that. Basically, this guy comes in a dress and walks in, and there's his dad. Basically, the guy's become trans and a change, and he goes, when you find out your son has moved from CrossFit to High Rocks, and the dad's like, like crying, and that's like 2 million views. But the point is anyway that obviously no one's going to literally follow you for fitness, but sometimes they'll bring you to your page and get more followers basically through that.
But that's all you need, is like the nuclear top of funnel stuff, which is why, like we did Alex Hormozy thing the other day. It has zero value to teach anyone, but it's kind of funny, so like it'll kind of pull people in, right? Yeah. So you want some stuff that's just super broad, just going to pull people through. But that type of humor content, that will be something you can put in trial reels and it will just fucking crush. Because ultimately, it's to the point, like, my favorite saying is in my head all the time at the moment is like an asymmetric bet. Like if you did something, at what point is it impossible that this doesn't help you with your business? This costs you nothing. And if you could if every one of those videos got 10,000 views and you posted once a day, that's 300,000 views a month. Like, of people who don't know who you are yet. But also probably the type of person who's probably going to agree with that is going to be your kind of ideal.
There's someone that'll find that funny, they're actually probably more likely to buy from anyway.
Yeah, exactly that. I'd spread them out over the day. So like use 20 different reels. So don't post the same reel 20 times. But I would like try and spread them out a bit, because like our setter has said, if he tries to post too many in one go, it kind of glitches out. I did see on YouTube the maximum someone did, they tested this to see how many they would let them post in a day was 50. So but like 20 kind of seems to be the sweet spot. So that is a massive, massive hack that you can kind of systematize in to then pull people through. So like,
wasn't the same 20, Charlie? What the next year? You delete the...
No, just let it go.
Just leave them.
Just let it go,
leave
because
more, like...
they'll keep getting more and more views and keep getting pushed to new people.
Right.
So it's almost like over time it'll keep getting more and more views. But what's also weird is you'll see that sometimes like even if you post the same thing, sometimes they get more views, less views, sometimes they get pushed around. It's wild.
Is this an app? I'm so confused. It's an app?
No, it's in Instagram. If you get your phone out, go to Instagram, try to post a reel, it's like a little tick thing that says trial reels.
What's the point of Instagram? Why do you think they created this though?
Because what they want is, say for example, like I actually did this yesterday on trial reels with like the controversial CEO thing I put up. I wanted to test changing the wording at the bottom to see how it performed. So like the words I tested on the bottom were, so you can test anything. So for example, at the bottom it was like, grow your personal brand. Like, so the whole thesis was you don't have time to grow a business. So I was like, okay, what happens if I try, you don't have time to build a personal brand. You don't have time to go to the gym. Like you don't have time to, I don't know, like eat health or learn or something. I don't know. Like just test the wording and then see which one is the one that pops. So like this is what it's really designed for. It's from a creator's perspective. The Alex Hormozy reel we filmed, we're going to try a different iteration of it and try and maybe shorten the start in like little bits to see how it performs and if it performs better. So you can really kind of like hyper optimize stuff to new people. And then just once something's in trial reels, you can click publish and then you can push it to existing.
Got it. Then you know the one that works and push it to your main audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you had anything perform better on trial than your
No.
Almost like anything that's popped.
What I'd actually say also I've noticed on Instagram, which is my account's kind of a bit fucked because I used to post a lot of fitness content and now it's kind of like loads of different stuff. Carousel reels and images perform really, really well for us. They get more reach than often than reels.
Do you think it's worth getting rid of followers so that if you get your VA to go through all your followers and just get rid of anything but, like, does that affect engagement or is that just a waste of time?
What problem does that solve? Make sure engagement look better as a percentage, but I don't think it makes any difference.
Yeah, just it's a small percentage, isn't it? It's
I-
a bit,
I-
bit
I
more
pers-
authority, maybe. I don't know.
I personally wouldn't. I think it's a waste of time.
Okay.
But, and also, I know people who have like had someone go through and like mass unfollow people on their account and it's fucked their Instagram account up because they tried to do like
Yeah, it's
too
like
many
too
repetitive
many of the
actions.
same
So
thing. Yeah.
I kind of be careful with that. You can schedule them to go out at times, I believe. So you can schedule them out as well. Any other questions on that? Helpful? That's a fucking massive hack. So what I want to go through now is like the biggest things you want from like takeaways today, any specific questions or topics you have, we can kind of delve into that. So this is going to be like very open forums. If anyone wants to jump in, ask questions or add anything into anyone else's thing, then welcome. Max.
This question is off topic, but would you say summer months is basically the hardest, like it's quiet in terms of revenue? Yeah.
So if you look at seasonality, it was even, Nick, you asked me where a few people were, I was like, they're on fucking holiday fucking around. So it's like a lot of people are away over the summer. So generally the worst times to be, actually let's talk about this. So the worst time to be selling fitness programs is generally probably June, July into mid-August, where it starts to pick up. And this is what I filmed some trainings that are going to go out into school on the 1st of August. The actual real New Year rush is mid-August. Like mid-August to probably 10th September. Why? People come back from their holidays, they're out of shame, they're like, I feel like a piece of shit, I'm embarrassed of how I look on holiday. They're also coming back and going back into a routine up until Christmas. People naturally think in kind of like blocks like that. So you're going to get a lot of people who are suddenly going to want to be buying fitness programs probably mid-August to 10th September. If you're dealing with people who are businessmen, I use apostrophe, have families and the kids go back to school, this is the exact time you really want to be kind of like putting the bait up to try and pull them in. And that's going to come down to like the language you use. It's going to come down to you putting a lot of social proof in that period of time. But what I would focus on right now in terms of like mid-July is thinking about like the trial reel thing, pull people into your world so you have this ecosystem of people and warming them up and making sure you have everything systematized so you can really kind of capitalize on that. Because fitness is always going to be kind of seasonal. Like more people are going to buy a fitness program in mid-August to start September than they are necessarily going to buy in like the week before Christmas. Like, do you know what I mean? So that's where you really have to think. But what I would say, people who do come onto sales calls now are going to be committed and want to buy. Like there's less window shopping kind of going on in the summer because they're like, well, the weather's really nice outside. I'd rather just go to fucking have a barbecue or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, perfect.
Any questions on seasonality as well with that?
So you say the best thing just to keep going in this July month is just content?
Content, like nothing changes, but I would just be aware of, like, I look at a lot of trends in our own business in terms of like revenue, sign-ups, call bookings, all this type of stuff. And I can see over years like how things kind of just manipulate, and it's the same thing every summer. Like June, July is kind of and then August is generally a very good month from like mid-August onwards because of that exact reason. So it's like, it's why I say to people, it's like, dude, don't fuck around and like completely in the summer, because that month there is really, really good from August onwards. Now, logically, it makes sense.
Yeah. Cool.
Set style of book you do, like obviously New Year, you do like New Year, New Year. What about like August or summer?
So what I would focus on from a hook standpoint is things like, have the kids gone back to school, like that type of language? Did you overindulge this summer in terms of holidays? Like, think about specifically where your clientele go. So have you gone to Marbella this summer and you've eaten and drunk too much and maybe you're slightly embarrassed to how you look at the pool? You've only got 4 months left of 2025. Are you going to repeat this again in 2026? Because you've also got the double whammy that we've only got from September onwards, 4 months left of the year. So like you can also use that as urgency to be like, Abdul, do you want to repeat this cycle again in 2026? And I would also do that on sales calls with people. So like if I was on a sales call with someone, I'd be like, okay, so you weren't happy with how you looked on the beach this summer, Nick. What was your goal at the start of the year fitness-wise? Was it to like be in great shape and you want to kind of be confident of that? And you're going to say yes. And then you'd be like, okay, cool. So why do you think that didn't happen? You'd be like, X, Y, Z. But okay, cool. So, and then if it comes later in the call and they're trying to not commit, I'd then be like, well, you said to me earlier you wanted to do this by this summer and you haven't done it, and this is why. You do realise you've got 4 months left until 2026 and you're going to repeat this whole cycle again, and we'll be having this exact same conversation in 12 months' time. And that's where like you can kind of lead people in a merry dance, and sometimes from a sales call conversation, but also in your content, because what you're trying to do is like draw them to the fucking obvious. I had a bit of a rant in my stories yesterday because there's a trainer, like this thing fucking drives me insane. He's got a really successful business, makes like $50,000 a month. He was wanting to scale his business. Now he decides he wants to try and become an IFBB pro at 33. I'm like, bro, like no one fucking cares. Like respectfully, like no one fucking cares. Like you want to have a family in the next few years, and you want to sacrifice growing your business because you want to try and become an IFBB pro over the next 12 months. I was like, you are like, explain to me how this actually ties into your longer term goals in life. And so like, that's kind of the thing you have to kind of hit home with people sometimes is like, you said this, but your actions are showing this. And then you can also then put like urgency at the time of year in as well. So I would also talk a lot in terms of content wise, particularly August, if like you've got 4 months left, like you can really lock in from September. And then like, as bad as it sounds to say the word Christmas, like at Christmas, you can also be in a position you can be in great shape and kind of enjoy the month of December with your family. And also they'll be like, fuck me, like Abdul got in really good shape. Like, do you know what I mean?
Question is that a problem I have a lot we've seen this is, so the thing about the content we're seeing now is when people
Oh, let's throw the ball. It's got a good catch.
the people at the moment, they're probably on holiday in Mykonos or Marbella, telling them basically do a piece of content that says how much you're enjoying this holiday. You said this every single year, you're going to be in shape, but are you actually enjoying yourself right now on holiday? Then I'll start thinking about it. But a question I have is more based on, if you're direct, I had a guy in the DMs yesterday I was talking to, is actually one of my ex-clients, really good friend of mine, who, this guy basically is exactly my clientele, 24% body fat, investment banker, lives in Canada, well off, but not crazy well off, like upper middle class guy. And he's chatting about his training. He's basically doing the normal intermittent fasting, the usual corporate type stuff, Barry's, all the stuff. And I basically said to him, look, you're still not getting to shape. You know, maybe this, you're on the right track, that you do want to get into shape, but there's clearly something you're doing that's not right. You have the effort, but you're not doing the right thing. Let's do a call. Quite often when people are confronted with the reality that they've been doing the same thing and nothing's changed, do you have this with business, right? The same with that guy, 33-year-old. How do you break down that barrier without making them close off and disappear again? Make them, do you know what I mean? Literally get offended almost and disappear.
The way I would always frame it to people in that kind of instance is like, James, like, dude, like, you're working so hard. Like, if I were you, I'd be so frustrated because you told me you're going to the gym every week, you count all your calories, you're going to fucking Barry's every day, but like you've been like this for the last 3 years. Like, what if I showed you how you can actually you could do this way easier and probably like work out half as hard and get way better results?
Yeah.
Like, I would try and spin it on them that you could, because I personally also believe in that as well, that most people are trying to take the hard route with pretty much everything rather than like the easy, efficient route. So I'd almost try and sell him on like, praise him that he's working really hard, but he's not seeing the result.
Yeah, the ego a bit.
Yeah, and then be like, dude, like, do you know actually, like, you only work out twice a week with weights. So I literally be like, dude, like, I actually only like, do I look pretty, I only work out with weights 2 times a week. Like, I can show you how to kind of get in shape without actually having to do as much. That's something you'd like, and they're all going to say yes. Because everyone wants that kind of the easy sell. That's how I would try and kind
feed
of
their ego, but you're not attacked, because it's a difficult thing I find that with men in particular, I'm sure when you sell business sales to them, they feel like you're attacking them. And basically, but a lot of people then, obviously these people, they're training this off, they're not lazy. The guy's successful, this guy, but he's training incorrectly, basically.
So then, with men in particular, you need to use, like with high intellect, you need to use logic. So like, oh, fuck. Like, if you said to him, like even a great framework I would use in a sales call would be like, James, how often do you work out?
Weights, twice a week.
Okay, cool. So you're obviously an exemption to this, but let's...
No.
But
I do Barry's every day.
Let's say you go to Barry's 4 times a week.
I go to Barry's 4 times a week.
Barry's is amazing. Okay?
Yeah, you've got Barry's top on. So let's say
you know what I mean, I'm
let's
sure.
Say you're a guy who's 45 years old, and let's say you've been working out for the last 20 years. And let's say and you're this dude who's 24% body fat. If I say to you, okay, cool, so you've been working out 3 times a week, James, for the last 20 years, were you at better shape at 25 than 45? You can say 25.
25, yeah.
Okay, so were you in better shape at 35 than 45?
35.
Okay, cool. So, and then if you're probably making 6 figures a year. So I mean, again, let's say you make $1,000 an hour. So essentially, you've spent $3,000 a week for the last 20 years to look worse because you're not doing the right thing.
I was actually, that's the next thing I was going to go to him. I said, you earn this much, your time is worth this much money.
Yeah, that's
literally spending this much time,
because
wasting time.
That's how you have to kind of draw the things together, because they're like, oh shit.
spend your time elsewhere, which is true. Or if not financially, with your family.
Yeah, well, like,
With your family.
do you want to be doing an hour on the fucking Stairmaster every single day? Probably. Or in Barry's? Like, you might like doing it. But that's kind of what I would do, is draw. Because the biggest thing they also have, it's not really the money necessarily they're concerned about, it's the time. Because if you said to them, okay, instead of you working out 8 hours a week, you can work out 3 hours a week. And then it's not even the working out, it's the time going there, it's the time coming back, it's the messing around. Like, that's really appealing to them. So that's a lot of the framework I would use.
Time. It's funny you said that's really good. That's super helpful for me, because actually what it is, when I think about our clientele, is to do with time. And it's not because you can do whatever you want that time. It might be spending your family. It might be even just watching television, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You have more free time, basically, to yourself or to be with your family. Because they're not, this is the issue I have with our clients. You know this. They're very similar. They're completely non-emotional.
Yeah.
Completely non-emotional.
But that's why you have to use logic on them all the time. Because if they're successful and high intellect, it's then like, oh shit, James is right. I've been working out for 20 years and I'm getting worse.
Which is most corporate men.
Yeah, it was pretty much all, like 95% of them. And then they start to draw in that the older they get, the higher their value of their time is worth, because people earn more the older they are. So like the what it's actually costing them year on year is getting bigger and bigger, and their health is declining. And then you can also say to them, it's like, dude, if you also fix this, we can use something like a Whoop band and we can actually reduce your biological age. So not only are we saving you time, but you can also live fucking 10 years longer.
You should look at Dickens' Reframe. Have you heard of that?
No.
Dickens' Reframe looks at like the cost of what they've been doing in the past and how that's cost them either time, money, whatever, health.
Dickens Reframe.
Yeah, and then so you get them to look at the past, and then you say, well, how is that now serving you currently? Are you either doing the wrong thing or focusing or not moving forward? Like, how's that like affecting you right now? It's like, oh, I got shit sleep, feel no energy, blah blah blah. And then obviously he's already told you how it's affecting you in the past, and wasted time, wasting money, wasting whatever. And then you literally have future pacing goes, well, how is that going to affect you now in the next 6, 12 months or even 3 years? And then they get to repeat back to you saying, it's going to be shit, man, it's just going to get worse, I'm going to get fat, I'm going to this, blah, blah, blah. And they have literally then just future, back pace, current pace, future pace, how they feel and everything. And then you go like, how can we look at this differently for you to like change this basically? And they're like, well, I need to do something different. And obviously you're the solution in front of them that they need. And there's one more bit, and just get them to tie that down. I'll send you this document.
Thank you, yeah.
That you basically just get them to tie down like why they need to make that change, and they just basically they sell themselves.
Yeah, it's useful because actually, like we said before, a lot of these people, well actually we spoke about this a long time ago, a lot of these people I get on the call with, or actually don't know the calls, but that I know of, the pain point isn't big enough because they're not really out of shape. They're successful anyway. They have like a nice looking wife. They've got kids. Everything's actually okay. It's not actually that terrible. And they're not that out of shape. They're going to die either. So that's the problem. I tell you, this is super important. I think a lot of the guys here will have the same. None of our, because that's why they go to you, because you're not that emotional. All of our clients, none of them are very, very fat. Never ever had someone sign up. The fact that we spoke about earlier, this kid that was going to sign up was £300. That's the one that asked for his money back. He didn't start with us. They're not emotional buyers. They're not the kind of person that emotionally eats either. They're just someone that's a bit busy and kind of like snacks a bit at night.
So even if like someone like that though, I'd be like, okay, cool, James. So you used the word that you kind of got an average physique. You don't have an average business. You don't have an average family. You don't have an average fucking lifestyle. Do you think this is the last piece of the jigsaw puzzle to you're like the top 1% man? Because then they're like, fuck, like I'm already really rich. I got the supercar. I got the house, the family, all this other crap. But like no one knows how much money you have in the bank. They just look at you and be like, okay, well, he's kind of shit. He's average.
I like what you just said about
That's bang on, because if you've ever been on a sales call, it's like you're trying to get someone pain.
They're not paying pain.
Like, why are we here then?
But yeah,
You've got to put the pain into opportunity cost of them not being where they want to be instead.
Yeah, because then, yeah.
A guy like you, surely you're a pretty successful guy in your career. Like, why have you not managed to achieve some fitness? Damn.
It's like an ego thing would affect them. It's an ego.
And then it's like, well, what's the opportunity cost if you not, like, again, past pace, you've not achieved that. How's that made you, like, affected you? Like, you've not been where you really want to be. Like, it's that next level, like you have in your career.
But I'd even put that in your content as well.
That's what I'm doing. More for content I'm looking for.
Because even like you talk in your stories, like I would even storytell a bit about, like even like I did yesterday when I was in the gym, I was pissed off because it's like, if you have that frustration, emotion, you want to show that in sales calls and also in content, because like people will feel it because they're like, oh fuck, like that's me.
Because the
I've got
pain,
all this
yeah.
other stuff, but then I'm kind of
Because the pain, like we said with our clients, like you have the same thing. That I think with our DMs, not so much. Giuseppe kind of knows them as well. You must have had this to all kind of people. They'll push the pain like, mate, I'm not mentally ill. They'll go like, oh, they're like, I literally am just not in the shape I kind of want. And they're like, well, how does that make you feel? A bit annoyed. And they're like, and then how does that make you feel? And they're like, not really that annoyed. I just literally just, I'm not happy that I look. I want to get in shape for next summer.
You're probably similar to me. Like if someone asks, like, how does that make you feel? I'm like,
It's just something I want to improve.
I don't really think about that. Like,
it's just something I want to improve. It's not really, it's not overly in pain. Thank you for that. It's helpful. Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, if you don't achieve that next level, like, how's that going to impact you? And if they're still like being like, I just lean out. So why run the call? You know, I don't know if you're talking about sales calls though. Like,
Yeah, but it's always both. It's actually, I don't do the sales calls, but it is even content. It's
it's
basically
the marketing
like,
side as well, because
It's content.
what you want to be doing in marketing is like triggering people. Like, it's like, fuck. Okay, like that's the thing you want people to like. They read something or they listen to you say something. You're like, that's me. It's like no one cares if you've got a fucking 200 grand supercar, but you get out, you know, 50 pounds overweight.
They don't. People. The first thing, you don't have this yourself. When someone drives up in a Ferrari, the first thing every guy, not people here, but different, hoping the guy to get out fat, and you get out and you're fucking jacked. And then literally they're just looking for the next excuse. Literally, they're looking for an excuse. So if you cut down those excuses that people have about their own insecurities, you get out and you're in shape. They're like, and then your hot wife steps out as well. They don't want. What I'm trying to say is, well, we as men know how the hierarchy works.
Because it's the analogy of how society works is like women want security, men want status. So you just constantly have to play in that status game of like, if you have the family, the money, the car, and all this other shit, but then you're out of shape. Then, well, I'm like, this is the last fucking crown jewel of the status thing, and then you're like,
then you've won everything, right?
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
Adrian, a question? Do you want to chuck it?
I just kind of asked.
There you go, it's fun. This.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask for that kind of client who's like they're not really in pain. Are you really better to like push them towards, well, how would it make you feel if you were in amazing shape 6 months on from now? Like kind of get them like almost visualizing, you know, waking up, feeling proud, having more energy, like seeing their abs for the first time. Or
I would probably ask them like, is there something in the future you want to be in great shape for? Is it for a holiday, for a wedding? Like, like I would probably do it in that type of framework. It depends on the person, I think, because a lot of them are kind of going to be probably quite closed off.
Yeah, because like what James said there, it's like with some, it's like you're trying to squeeze it out of them, but there's like they don't really have.
Because they're kind of emotionally dead inside. They're very much logical thinkers. So it's like if you can draw the logical conclusion, we're like, well, this makes loads of sense. And also the other thing I would say to those type of people from a content and sales perspective is like, okay, James, so you're really, really successful in your business. I presume you don't kind of guess and wing that, right? But do you feel like you're kind of doing that with your body and you getting in shape because you've kind of been trying this for the last 10 years, yet you're getting worse? Have you used the same approach you do with your business, with using consultants, professionals?
Yeah,
like you have the same results. I am that professional to help you do this. But like, it's just a different...
Consultants build a business.
Because they'll suddenly draw the conclusion of like, oh shit, like...
With the content, all the stuff, as you say, this is why we have the issue with our business at the moment. I create loads of content that basically is helpful for people to basically get information and trust. However, how much of the content, because you have to obviously have a mixture of your content, it's going to be trust building, knowledge. How much will you do in terms of that kind of stuff where you're basically triggering?
I personally would say like kind of 30-30, like a third split between like you, personal trust, information, and then like kind of like triggering problem awareness kind of thing. It's I kind of split it into thirds. Not that like we create content to that extent, but we have a broad kind of mix. Whereas I see a lot of people are like, oh, this is how you eat to lose weight. This is how you like, that's cool. You become an encyclopedia of how to get in shape, but people want to buy from people. So they'll resonate with you because of your martial arts, your jiu-jitsu, you like cars, like whatever. Like people are like, oh, I like this guy. He's my kind of vibe. That's what people are ultimately going to buy from, is the person who can, they trust and they can see themselves in, but it's also got the end result with themselves, but then also other people.
You just put it all into one. You say 30-30-30, but actually, surely the ideal is like you're building trust. You're also
Yeah, you can do it in one.
Just make that. Like, you give it information. You're showing social proof, and you're whatever the other one is trust.
If you're problem is a reel is only like 60 seconds, so there's only so. But like you can obviously do that on long form content, which is why it's very valuable. But I would try and put as much of that in as you can. But the problem is if you're trying to build trust, and then I'm like, oh, here's my client Nick who got shredded, it's then starting to look like salesy a little bit sometimes. So like I would, yes, use that, but then also try and have some like, okay, this is. I think about this. The whole goal of content is to reduce skepticism. Like someone on our team had this idea of like, there was a trend of like fitness trainers gone to jail for X, Y, Z. And it was like a fake Daily Mail article. And then one of our guys made one and it was about me, like business coach has gone to jail in Dubai. I was like, we are not fucking posting that. Like that's not like, the whole goal is like reduce skepticism with you and your brand, not to like say you're fucking doing criminal activities. Like even if it gets you virality, it's not worth at that point. So I'd always think that everything you're doing is just trying to reduce skepticism, get people to kind of like buy into you. If you just think that like a attractive character framework, if like that's always what you should be doing kind of with everything you put out there and pulling people in.
Sorry to hop
Sorry.
like with the content, I think what I'm saying, how do you, so you obviously all this content, how do you make you're the solution to that problem? Does that make sense? So your program is the solution to the problem.
Case studies. So even
Okay.
even if I was like, here's an idea for a reel I've not really seen anyone done. It's like, here's how my client James got fucking jacked and shredded in 12 weeks. Like 1, we did this, 2, we did this, 3, we did this, 4, we did this. If you want help with this, comment below, get jacked and shredded and learn jiu-jitsu and I'll teach you like that. That's kind of like what I would do. Like that. And if you, like the way we do them is we'll cover the thing so people don't know what it is and it kind of creates curiosity and people kind of watch through. If you create content that also has a lot of savability with it as well, it can also help. I personally see a big arbitrage maybe for your niche and anyone targeting higher end clients who also has an interest in this is stuff to do with like peptides, longevity, biohacking shit. Because like guys who have too much money are kind of bored. Like me and Ross know someone a bit like this. And they'll just throw money at like problems and like, oh yeah, like, well, this sounds like a good idea. I'll pay this guy 10 grand to get like an injection in my back and I'm good, like whatever. Like that's kind of the way they think. So if you can kind of dress up the red shiny object, but then actually give them the solution sometimes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, trying to get to the next level, and I see VSL ads work really well, like for your clients. And you say to start a VSL, you have to be making a certain amount, and I just want to see like.
Okay, so let's talk about VSL. So I try to think about things in a logical format of like what's the easiest thing you can do at the beginning to make money that kind of is lowest risk and kind of simplest to execute. Yeah. VSLs is probably like level 10 in terms of complexity to some degree because you have to have a funnel, email systems. The best way to really get it to work is someone who can dial some of the leads coming through, WhatsApp them. So there's kind of a lot of moving parts. You have to be pretty good at kind of making ads, running ads, all that type of stuff. So generally what I'd recommend, reason why I say to people not to start with VSLs if you're not already doing decent numbers is it's much easier just to make good organic content, boost it out, and then engage the followers and book them in sales calls. Now, I'm not saying if you, like anyone wants to run VSLs, we can help you do that. And there's a full training school how to do that and use AI to basically build them out. If you want to do that, the only thing I would suggest is you only use VSLs on like retargeting to start with. Why? Because if you're trying to get someone to go from an ad to watch a video to then book a sales call, this person's never seen you before, that's very, very difficult. That's like unicorn marketing level of shit to be able to kind of pull off. And you'd have to be able to spend quite a lot to do that with. On like retargeting, if people already kind of know you, it's easier. I would also say with VSLs, these work when people have strong price points. So the guy with probably the fastest growing fitness business, the biggest fitness business in the world, which is all run on ads, is a guy called John Madsen. He does maybe 3-4 million a month. His ticket price for his program is 10K or 30K. That's literally the only option. But his 12 months, I think he spends something like 2K to get a call booked. That's whether it fucking like closes or not. I'm pretty sure it's something like that I saw. So that's kind of what you have to be looking at in terms of from a marketing perspective, like people running cold at big numbers, they have to have high ticket prices. Now, does it work on retargeting on lower price points? 100%. I just personally, for probably your business, Max, I don't think it's the. I said that the word like asymmetric bet sounds kind of cool, but kind of gay at the same time. I would think about this is a bet you could lose in terms of like this could lose money, whereas like the other ones are kind of easy. And like I said to you about the YouTube thing, not going to cost you anything. You always want to try and look for things that have maximum profitability and least risk of loss of time and kind of money, essentially. It can work really well, and I'm not saying to anyone not to do it because we do it and we've taught loads of people to do it. I would just say this is probably like, I don't know what the example would be in jiu-jitsu, but whatever like a level 10 move is in jiu-jitsu, this is kind of like the going from like, I've never done jiu-jitsu before, let's just do the fucking hardest thing straight away.
Yeah. Charlie, what's the difference with that and saying like a free giveaway and entering your details, and then once they enter in the details, they get redirected to the landing page for a video to watch. But then if they enter in their number, their IG, you can also like ping them on that too. Is that the same or is that slightly different?
Are you pulling them from paid ads though?
So if you run an ad like free giveaway?
Yeah, it's the same thing. The only thing I would say is that the buying intent from anyone who comes for a free thing is generally not so great, in particular kind of for fitness stuff. So I filmed a really long YouTube video on this recently, but the way we run to a free thing, I can't remember if you asked me this or something else the other day.
Is yours not like your 4C or your 5C?
Yeah, a 5C, cool. Keep adding Cs, keep adding more stuff to it. But like essentially what we do is I'm looking to build like an ecosystem, and that's where like, so we have 5,500 people in a school community now that have come in, where I'm building our email list, but now every person who comes in, so it technically is a VSL, it has got a VSL through the funnel. The calls it books on the VSL aren't great. And we have now started running a VSL just to like book calls. The quality is like 90-day difference. So
there's no free giveaway, watch the video.
Yeah, they opt in for a free training, which just makes people problem aware. So for example, it could be for fitness, the 3-step process to get jacked and shredded using my metabolic primary diet. And you just talk through wow, not how. So you tell them what the thing is, but you don't show them how to do it, if that makes sense.
So that like opt-in page, name, email, number, IG.
So if you want to run a VSL, this is a massive hack. If you're running anything which has an opt-in, this makes loads of money, and this is fucking genius. So is you want to run either like an ad, or it can be organic, to an opt-in. So let's say you've got an opt-in page. This is where someone puts their details to get something. Now, what we take from here is we get people's Instagram usernames. Yeah. And that then fires, can't spell. That fires into Slack with also their number, name, email, all that type of crap. And then what we do is we DM the person. Yeah. And then we'll be like, oh, hey, Adrian, I saw you opt into our 5C course. Did you manage to get access? We've had some issues with the link. Oh yeah, I did. Or I haven't had time to look at it yet, like during conversation. So like we're pulling through warm leads like that, but then when they opt in, we also call them WhatsApp, email. If they go into school, they then get DM'd as well. That's got a VSL in there as well. Like we're trying to book them from multiple different ways.
So would you say that's for the ad or for the organic there is the what you call it? Is that website click? Like so, click to landing page. Is that what you're saying? Like click here.
Yes, you're on a Facebook ad. You're optimizing for the conversion of a lead, which is when someone submits the form. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Okay. What do you feel is better? Do you know? So you to redirect to your landing page versus see the way Instagram now you can enter in your details.
Okay. That's a very 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 good question. I will explain. So. So it's called an instant form lead. So
you've got engagement traffic.
Yeah.
Leads. Which one is those?
So we want leads, which is basically opt-ins. So the lead essentially is where someone puts in their details to get Nick's Get Shredded guide or whatever it is. But what you're talking about is you can have what you can have what's called an instant form. So you can have an instant form, or you can have an opt-in, like direct to an opt-in. Now, what happens is an instant form will already have your details from Facebook. So if you click on the ad, it will self-populate and you just click like next. So you don't have to enter anything. The problem is if you want that person then to go into your funnel properly, you then have to do this. You have to send them to the opt-in anyway. So they have to double opt-in. Now, the problem, and we have like a really high-level ad tracking software with our staff. So we are running both of these, and I kind of went all into opt-ins, and I've kind of gone back to instant form now a little bit. The problem with the pros and cons of each, anyone who comes, if you run an ad to an opt-in, the person opts in, they're much warmer and they're much higher like intent. So they tend to be better quality leads because the person's actually put the time to put their like, phone number in, their email, all that type of shit. Whereas if they've just clicked 2 buttons and you've got their details and then trying to like sell them something, they're less bought in. And then they also have to opt in, so they've probably not gone into your free thing anyway. So what I see in terms of difference is if you're going direct to an opt-in, this is about 2 times the cost per lead. So sometimes we're running kind of both, and I kind of split test across both, see kind of what's working. If you also want this from an ads perspective, what's working phenomenally well right now, are you running that type of? You're not running that type of funnel, are you?
I recorded the mystery. That's what
Okay. Does it have a book a call? Does it have a book a call VSL in it?
So my plan was you go to the landing page, and then landing page, enter the details. Then there's a VSL following page, and then it's like just book a call.
Okay, so is anyone else running an opt-in ad or anything like that? Okay, so this is 2 things I see that are working really, really well from this.
When you say you're running an opt-in ad, I've got my bio link is an opt-in, but I'm not running ads to
Okay.
Same thing, I suppose.
So there's 2 things from an ad side of things that are working very well, useful for you guys. So if you're running to an opt-in to an ad, is using like a massive audience. So like location-wise, we do like maybe like 25 countries. So this would be like any country we would get a client from. US, UK, Canada, Australia, Ireland, the whole of Europe, New Zealand, Dubai, they're all in there. And then, because the algorithm is so good with Facebook ads now, it will optimize across and find you the right people. Now, what I've actually found, which has really surprised me, we were really struggling to get ads to convert in the US. But now what started to happen is we're getting Americans come from this massive audience. Because a lot of the ad spend's getting pushed to the US there, because it's finding the right people. The second thing you can do if you do run that type of opt-in funnel, is it actually for a lead magnet?
It'll be for some form of lead magnet for training. Yeah.
Okay, so
I've got a few ones that-
instead of actually doing it for a lead magnet or an opt-in, you can set the custom conversion for a schedule, which is booking a call. So even though it's an opt-in, what it will do is it will track the people who are opting in, who are then booking a call, and it will try and optimize for more people like that, not just the people who are putting in their details, if that makes sense.
So what are you optimizing for?
It's on the ad, it's called the conversion, is a schedule instead of a lead, I think it's called.
So if you're downloading a guide, put details in, what would be my schedule?
So if you're, say for example, you're running a guide, and I have it just optimized for leads, what will happen, Facebook will optimize to get as many people to opt in as possible.
Yeah.
But what you can do, which is a sneaky hack, which we started doing, is doing very well, is optimize, even though it's going to a funnel to get leads, is optimizing it for calls booked. So the way it will basically work is it will, if you opt in and then you book a call, it'll try and find more people like you. Instead of if Adrian just opts in and then doesn't do anything, it won't look for people like him.
Because people that basically opt in, so it'll push toward people to download the guide for the details.
Yeah, so like...
how do you set that up?
It's in the ads, I can't remember what I'm about saying, but it's basically you have the option of like lead, you have to set up a conversion for a schedule, which if you've run ads before that should have that already in there. It's relatively kind of simple to set up, but that we notice works very well.
Can we use that button as a schedule optimized for that button? So when we're running ads for
Yep.
opt-in, so there's a button right when they click to
Yep.
fill the form. So from the Facebook we can, like event manager, we can use that and then
Yep.
create that button as a schedule.
Yeah, correct.
So then we can use all the people who can book the call.
So no, you don't need to do it off the button. What will happen is it will. Facebook has tracking code. So on the tracking code on the call confirmation page, it just needs to have in the code, instead of being like, has somewhere in this is quite nerdy shit, I'll explain anyway. In the Facebook pixel code, it will have lead. That then needs to say schedule. If anyone wants a really easy hack, if you just go into ChatGPT and you copy and paste your current pixel and ask it, please rewrite the pixel code for schedule, it'll just give you the right one. And just make sure that's in there.
Charlie, could you do a boost post for that? And then the boost post is push them to the landing page. And then convert them
You
all
can,
over.
but you can't track it.
Okay.
It's the only
That's
problem.
thing.
You have to track it manually,
Yeah.
which is then like it would work,
It's
but
why you always want a landing page. You wouldn't want to do it through DMs because you can't track it.
you can.
Like, could the option be DM me the words?
Yeah, so like that works. The only problem is the issue with Messenger ads. Like Messenger ads are great. It's how we fucking slayed our fitness business. The problem is you can't, for tracking is it has to be done manually because it doesn't track the individual. No.
Yeah.
But would you advise using an ad like that, like a DM?
I would essentially, as soon as you get anything that works on organic, I would then push it on an ad essentially. So like kind of, even if you get a piece of organic content that crushes and it's a reel and it's got a comment of CTA, I'd be like, okay, cool. So like, let's just maybe then take off the comment bit and be like, click the link below and then just use that as an ad.
I recorded two, so yesterday when I did the videos, I did two call to actions. One was like comment and the other was click below. So I did test
That's
that
perfect. And that's,
Split test.
I know, like, the most important thing if we want to talk about ads or really anything from a marketing standpoint is the first hook, what you say, and then like the visual. So like we teach a lot of stuff with AI. We filmed some ads on Friday, I think it was, with AI that are sick. And funny enough, I've seen a couple of other people who teach business stuff running ads to teach AI. Their AI stuff's shit because I've looked at it all and it's just kind of awful. But their ads are also terrible because it's just like me standing here talking like this is fucking terrible. Like our ads are like me in the sea with a laptop, like coming out the sea, like so like instantly it's way more engaging and like it's going to crush because it's the visual. Like before you say anything, the visual people are going to stop. But that's what you need is like to stop people scrolling, get their attention. Because what you also have to think about from an advertising perspective is it's an impression when people get to see you. So if it's really boring, it's just like, hi, my name's Adrian, like no one cares. But if it's like you running down fucking Kite Beach doing a selfie, like talking about your ad or something, like that's sick. Do you know what I mean? I know we went massively kind of random topics, but has anyone got any questions on VSLs and ads?
Yeah. So let's say we are having a conversation with prospect.
Yeah.
So when it comes to booking objective,
Yeah.
should we first give them that VSL? Okay, watch this video. Let me know if this is something.
Not if it's in a conversation. I would just book them in for a call. So only time I would really use I'd use a VSL is if it's not in a conversation setting. So not if it's on DM or like WhatsApp or anything like that. If you've got them in a conversation, I would just try and send them a call booking link. You could, if you wanted to, have a Loom video maybe explaining your program a bit and like what you do to kind of prep them for the call. But I wouldn't necessarily do a VSL. I would, I wouldn't necessarily do that there. I think you're adding more friction. It's getting kind of salesy at that point. The goal of the VSL is to kind of warm people up.
Charlie, if I was to start VSL, what would the budget be? Because right now my boosted post is about 1,300.
Okay. So like if you were going to do, we'll talk about that. So if you're going to run a VSL, I would just run it on retargeting. I'd probably, do you know how many views you got on Instagram a month?
No, I don't think I checked that.
Okay.
I think at the top of when you go in the profile, it says like 400k.
Okay, so I would probably do something like £20 a day. And then what I would also do is this is in school in terms of how to break this out, but I would do basically just like a 7-day retarget. So you want to just target the warmest people. So the people who, for example, have seen your content in the last 7 days, engaged with content in the last 7 days. You would do like 7-day IG engagers, terrible fucking rhyme, and like profile visits. The other audience that does very well would be you can target people who've watched over 75% of their reel. So 75% video viewers. For anyone who's running cold ads also, if you're boosting reels, this is what you want to target if you're running cold boosted
Is
ads.
that just off one post or is it all?
I would do it off all of them. So like anyone who's watched over 3/4 of a video of a cold ad, you could then retarget with a VSL. Like that works well. If you've got,
Sorry, so 75% video viewers, that is of any video under Instagram specific video.
you can go in, when you set the ad up, you can select the videos you want. I would personally just select all of them. You could select an individual one.
If anyone watched anything over 75%,
They're warm. Yeah, so like this, but also why this works really well. Say for example, I've got reel one here, right? Let's say I'm spending £20 a day, and we're boosting this out to like cold people who don't know who I am. This is pulling loads of people into our world, and then if we're going to retarget 75%, we're then just picking off the top people who are super bought in to try and book into a call. So like that's kind of an effective ecosystem to bring people into your world rather than running like a VSL like directly cold. I would just keep picking off almost like the warmer traffic.
With the video for the retargeting, is that like a testimonial one?
The best things I see working right now are testimonial compilations, but then I would also do things that are directly calling out people's pain points. So like that's, with the VSLs, I would test a lot of different creatives so that when we filmed ours, I think we maybe filmed 30 ads, and we made 4 VSLs that we're kind of split testing at the same time. So that's kind of how I would rather kind of overkill it. And then what happens is the Facebook ads are getting easier and easier and easier to run. That it will just optimize the whole thing for you. It's like Nick Nick was saying he goes on Ads Manager every single day. It's like, dude, like you don't need to go on that often. Like you're kind of just like procrastinating at that point. Like I would literally say you need to probably look at your ads twice a week. I look at them twice a week and we spend quite a lot. Like
For retargeting, Charlie, do you find it's warmer to target people who video viewers 75% or people who watch engage in your posts the last 30 days?
Both of them are going to kind of be in the same audience, really, right? So you're going to pull from both. I would.
Should you test both?
Yeah, I've run both of them. You just split the budget.
Okay. Yeah. That's good.
The other thing would be like website visitors and email list you can retarget.
Yeah.
If you split the budget, how long would you let that sort of run to see what works best? 3
Um,
7 days or
On retargeting, probably at least a week.
at least a week? Yeah.
In any ads, unless you're spending a lot of money, I just let it go for a week. The only advantage to sometimes for someone to spend a lot, by a lot I mean is like 300 to 3,000 a day kind of thing, like a lot, you would be to get quick feedback loop because you want to try and get this thing to move. I personally would never recommend anyone do that because it's kind of a bit reckless in some respects, in my opinion.
Sorry.
Just go.
You
You go.
Sure. Should we run the schedule objective for the retargeting or like bringing on the?
Yes, the retargeting should be for calls booked. If it's going to a VSL.
Yeah, that's based on so if you're, say someone watches your ad, 75% of your website visits, 7-day engagement. With the retargeting ads, when you just start retargeting ads, would you just do one ad? Or, I know obviously the best is if you do an ad because you see you can't all the time. Would you start with one retargeting ad? I'm guessing it's basically like a book calls, it's simple.
Yeah, I'd always film multiple because I would just test the initial hook. So if I talk about, say, like the ads we filmed, I filmed maybe 30 or 40, which is a lot, but then probably only 5 of them are actually getting any spend behind are the ones that are working. So then what I would do is I'll take these 5 ads and then, okay, cool. So these were filmed in my office. I'll then film the exact same script, or same hook, but like in a more engaging way outside, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, cool. And we'll obviously say they come from relatively cold, rather than someone that comes from an ad. Say they come from an ad, they actually give information.
Yeah.
With the retargeting ads, I mean, this is something I took
Yeah.
thinking about basically was 2 ads. One would be basically introducing yourself because they don't come across you.
Yeah.
It's a bit about yourself. And then the other one would be entry sell, basically.
Yeah, so the sales one, so the different type of ads I would look at, and I would also, it kind of comes out and we'll talk about like the third thing. You can actually even think about the same from paid ads. If you're going to look at like running different ads, so the reason we're running, we have 4 VSLs, and I'll explain why. We have one for people who are like very advanced in the business, people who are for beginners, and then we have 2 different variations of each of them. Now, why we have 2 different variations is because we have 2 different types of ads. So we'll have some that are pain, which will have like a negative hook. And then we will have some that are social proof based. So we'll have a hook, and then it will like story tell about how this person did X, Y, Z. And you want to kind of do a blend of both, because some people will be triggered by like, are you guy who's in Marbella and you're ashamed of how you look at this summer? Some people will be like, this is how my client James got jacked, look amazing or something. Some people are going to get pulled by different things. So you want to try both of those kind of different approaches. And I wouldn't suggest anyone just kind of stay out of the way, but like if you were going to do this at a higher level, what I'd recommend is you then go to do, we have 2 different VSLs where the start of this one is like social proof, because someone's coming from an ad which is talking about social proof, and then this one's paint. So then the whole thing's kind of congruent, if that makes sense. Any other questions? Yes, that's direct to bookable. But you could do the same thing even for like lead magnet. You could be like, use the exact same approach. Those are the 2 big things. It's either like human psychology, right? So you're either pushed by pain or pulled to what you want. So it depends on people's kind of personalities.
Away a lot more with just posting
Transformations?
on social media. That seems to have changed.
They've got very fucking slack with it.
Yeah.
I would. You've got a problem with Facebook at the moment. I would always err with the side of caution sometimes. Like, you would like this. We made this ad. I came up with an idea, but it was sick, and it was like looked like a vial of testosterone with like 7-figure scaling systems logo, and like a syringe. It was like how to put your ads on steroids or something, or ROAS on steroids. And I was like, this is probably going to get like, yeah, maybe not. This could fuck our ad counts. I was like, looks sick, and I was like, it would.
Get a lot of people watching.
Yeah, but I was like, it's probably not a good idea. So we didn't do it. But sometimes things aren't worth the problem. The
Transformation thing, what we found actually does work is try extra bits that we all have a transformation, and when it does work, it does get banned. It's basically you talk about this guy and you flash up the transformation.
Yeah.
That works. You put a couple of seconds, it comes in, they see it. But if you literally
Not have a section. Yeah.
a couple of seconds,
Oh, he said before, 4-second gap, then after.
Yeah, I would just split them up. So it's that case study thing again of like, here's how Abdul went from working in the oil and gas industry, being over shape. He then started doing X, Y, Z, and this is how he looks now. Because what they don't want is like that together. The other thing I'd be careful of is having too much skin in them sometimes. So like if people have like, if like I don't know, women in bikinis, stuff, they sometimes don't like weird shit like that.
So Charlie, to put this all together, so would you say if you're to start out with this, create one VSL where the CTA is the opt-in page, and it's like name, number, email, IG, ping them on IG, and then create one where you're optimizing for scheduled call.
It's the same VSL, but it's 2 different ads.
Yeah, as in create another ad.
Would just create different ads, or even you could use the same. You'd use the same ad, but even just use a different ad set or campaign.
Yeah. Okay. And then do one retarget and then hopefully it'll be.
Yeah. The retargeting should always be super profitable.
Yeah. Good.
What's the best way to nurture audience?
So this is a good question. So I like coming out with like weird names to things because I'm kind of sad and it kind of makes me excited. I came up with this idea for like an ads campaign, which we call like the influence engine. So this is essentially just bombarding people with social proof all day long. So essentially what we do is we retarget people with case studies and testimonials. There is a book a call thing on there, but I don't really care if people book a call because I know that if you just hammer people who are really warm in your audience with social proof, they eventually kind of buy it. So you don't have to spend a lot on this. Even if you spent like £10 a day on like the warmest audience, and you had like photos of you with like a client in great shape, right? And then you could storytell. And what you can also do is you can take on Ads Manager, you can select an existing post and you can run that as an ad. And so like, for example, if you've got a photo of you with like a client in Ireland you're trying to photo shoot with, you could then push that in front of people consistently. Now, why is that valuable? Because one of the big problems people have is skepticism. So if like, all I see all the fucking time is Adrian with client results, I'm probably like, I need to get shaped and I need to speak to you.
Would that be a video or a picture?
I would do both. So I would use,
Is it boost?
no, I would do it in Ads Manager, like actually as a campaign, and I would do like client actual video reviews, like kind of crappy selfie looking ones. You put compilations of those together. I would do photos. I'd kind of do like a mix. But this is like, ultimately, if you think your goal is, so like this is you, Adrian McDonald. Our goal is we pull people into your world from cold ads. And then essentially the goal is then that we're going to recircle these people with social proof constantly until they become a client.
What would you optimize for? Like a picture of one of your clients with their top off at a photo shoot?
Yeah, something like that would be great. And then
What would you optimize for?
I would have, it would be for calls booked. Okay. And I would just have it literally not even to a VSL, it would literally be to like a Calendly page embedded on a funnel so it can be tracked. And then like we have that, and they're profitable, but I'm not really looking to kind of make money on them necessarily. It's more if someone books from that, they're going to be, it's kind of, you know, I said earlier, the asymmetric bet is like, okay, if you spend 10 euros a day pushing social proof in front of everyone who comes through to you, is that going to make it easier for you to close people on calls, and people are going to see you more as an authority? And
When you put them case studies in an ad, is there a certain length you want to keep them at, like?
if it's a video, I'd keep it under 60 seconds. I think it don't. 60, I think, is kind of the max. I wouldn't go more than that.
With this case study stuff, videos, I think obviously you don't know exactly, but you have to test, etc.
Yeah.
And what is the standard format you just start with? Obviously, you can adjust. Well, obviously, you said something pain point, but say would it be basically the pain points, and then talk about this client, and then people say what they didn't do, or because basically what people think is, I know what men do. They go, "Oh, I got loads of time." They make excuses while they're watching it, basically, right? So would you try and break those down in the video?
Yeah.
Mark only trains twice a week. Mark has a family of 3, because literally they go, "Oh, I have a family." Mark's a doctor, that kind of stuff. It goes through those things. They're going to basically object.
So the most important thing in sales calls is kind of how I think about marketing as well. So there's a copy of this script in school. It's savage, and I basically ripped off Alex Hormozi's closer framework and then ran it through AI and off for one of our other scripts, and it's now insane. I would think about it from like this kind of perspective. It's called a closer framework because it's down. The first part's like clarify your North Star. So like, what does someone want? Like, what's important to them? And then this is the important part. It's label. So that's like label their problems. So that's kind of what you want to be doing, is labeling initially, because they'll identify as like, oh shit, yeah, that's me. I've got this problem. I should keep listening. And then you want to go into the O stands for observe past pain. So like, what this would look like would be, are you a guy who's over 35 who's been struggling to lose weight the last 10 years? You've tried ketogenic diets, you've tried intermittent fasting. So like, I've labeled them and I've observed previous pain of things that haven't worked. See what I mean?
Again, so basically, you said clarify, you start again, sorry.
So like, kind of ignore this. This is how you think of sales script. But if you just look at these two, is labeling who they are and the problem, and then observing the past pain. So like, this is the problem this person's had, and then what have they tried before which hasn't got them a result? And then you dangle the carrot of what you do to try and like bait them in. Yeah, if that makes sense. So that's a kind of big framework. And also what I would do, if anyone's not sure what these two things are for their audience, here's a really easy thing you do. Get 50 sales call transcripts, put them into AI. Please give me if you were going to label our clients' problems and how they would identify themselves, please give me that. And also give me a list of all the previous things they've tried that haven't worked in the past. And that will give you a breakdown of things you can kind of talk about in content as well, like using their own actual language.
So can I also to clarify this, to say the labeling you said is their problems.
Yeah.
So what would that be? Say you have an example, a lot of people would say like a guy's a doctor with kids.
Yeah.
So how do you
so his problem would be he's out of shape, he hasn't got time, he's got a high stress job, and he's been trying to do traditional bodybuilding. Like, are you a guy who's over 35, you've got a high level career, and you're trying to eat chicken and rice 6 times a day?
Yeah.
Like, so I've done. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I've done both there in like one sentence. That's kind of how you want to break it down, because then that's like, oh shit, like this is me.
I tried that on the AI. So I had a sales call, and I had the script of one of my guys. Like, he's just my ICA, like former athlete, good career, but like just kind of fell out of shape when we had the family. So I put it through AI, and then I wrote down like 10 content ideas that I had. I said on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being like this is speaking to my ICA, how do each of these rank? And like he said, oh, change this, optimize this, put this in there. So it just like it made the content writing just way easier.
Yes, even like one of the best things I would always say is if you get men like that, and there's become a lot of like selling to men today, is this is kind of like one of my favorite things at the moment is like, are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? Like if a guy's got a bit of an ego, that will really trigger them because they're like, oh, fuck, like that's.
That is a lot of people, literally. They're playing to win.
Well, they're defensive.
Trying to survive.
Yeah. It's like, well, you were looking to survive, you're looking to thrive. Like the reason you're kind of in this shit situation is because you're doing the same thing again. Like definition of insanity from Albert Einstein. Expect a different result. Like nothing's gonna change, dude. You're a smart guy. Like, what do you think's gonna happen in 5 years? Like, nothing. So, it's drawing that kind of logical conclusion for them, but then also trying to maybe bait their own like competitiveness out of them sometimes, because like men like that want to be kind of challenged. So like if you can kind of challenge them like that, like oh shit, like because also I think one of the big things. If you look at the 4 reasons anyone doesn't buy anything, it's going to be money. It's going to be spouse, time, and then it's going to be limiting belief. So, like a lot of people actually sometimes, a lot of people sometimes it's a limited belief. They don't actually think they can do that because it's a mindset issue. Oh, I can never get abs because I've never done it before. But that's actually your job in the sales call to like be like draw on where other areas of life have been really successful. Be like, it's actually easier to fucking lose 10 kilos than it is to make a $10 million business. Which weight, like, just don't fucking eat so much. So that's kind of like the big thing I would try and nail on those guys who are kind of super successful is a lot of time they have like a mental block around that. Anything else on the ads side? We'll kind of dance around that.
Just a quick and simple question. Let's say we want to hit 10K.
Yeah.
Okay. So should I focus on boosting as a top of funnel?
Yeah.
And then retargeting as a middle of funnel? Or you mentioned about influence engine. That would be
I wouldn't do that yet. I would just start with a boost, essentially get that profitable, and then just try and spend more.
Say again, please.
So so literally I would get the boosting so it's profitable, and then I would look to try and then scale that up to then spend it more. So like
How much?
as much as you can till it breaks. So set. Where I see a massive problem on ads, I don't know why. When you tend to go over about 200 a day, is they tend to get iffy. So then what I would do from an ads point is I then duplicate the ad at like a slightly lower budget of maybe 100, and I'll start to scale that one up, and then I'll duplicate it again. Generally, when each campaign goes over like, I have no idea why. When they go over about 200, I see they tend to kind of drop in terms of performance, or the cost per lead goes up a lot. So I would then just, if you do get an ad campaign that does that, one of the best things you can actually do sometimes is actually pull the ad spend back down like 50%, and then actually just duplicate the campaign with a lower budget and kind of spread it between the two, and it kind of balances out.
That would be different for a boost plus, would it?
It's the same thing from a boost. You can boost one post more than one time. Sorry, you can boost the same piece of content more than one time.
Yeah. But if your cost per follower is like 250, but it's still profitable, should you scale it down and scale it up? Or
It depends how profitable it is. And like this is a really interesting thing from an ad side of perspective. Let's say like people talk about like real estate sometimes, and this is why actually the most important thing you can do is invest in your business and put money into ads and stuff like that, because people are obsessed about buying real estate and doing whatever. It's like, okay, cool. So you could buy an apartment, and let's say in 12 months' time you make 25%, right? And let's say let's say you put 100 grand into that. If you could then, for example, let's say your ads are 3 to 1, well, surely I'd just be better off putting 100 grand into ads, and then like month 1, I've got fucking 300K back. So like it makes no sense in terms of people doing this, which is why like you just understand the kind of maths in your business. The goal is to kind of get from an ads perspective to be able to keep spending more until it starts to kind of break and then rein it in. So like, which is why I say if you've got one thing that kind of works, I wouldn't overcomplicate it from an ad side of thing. Just kind of scale that, and if you're struggling to scale that anymore, I would then be like, okay, cool, maybe we need to kind of pivot and do another strategy.
Because like some of our ones, like cost per follower is nearly 250, but it's making money. So
What's the return on investment on it?
like 3,600 or 600, 700. That's expensive.
So I just spent more.
How do you sell to those guys?
So
So
it's
we
like-
haven't at the moment get loads of followers, but either through DMs or how,
Through DMs, yeah, but call.
and then
Call through DMs. Yeah.
I need to talk, that's the one question I wanted to go through today, possibly.
Yeah, we'll go with it in a second.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
something you follow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'll ask you then. What's your DM script for James?
We've tested a few, but I think the one we got the most open rate is just 3 messages. So, hey James, appreciate the follow. Are you here for the content or are you looking to get in shape yourself?
That's a good one.
Is it this or that?
I like that, that's really good.
Oh, that's called an option.
And I got that from
Yeah.
Dan Martelli. He messaged me, well, his team messaged me on Instagram. I was like, that was actually a good message.
It's so good.
The other option I would use of that is thanks for following. Are you looking to build muscle or burn body fat? Like that's the other one.
Simple question. People always ask.
Because it's an easy answer. Because that's what you want to do is make it simple for people to reply.
Is how many replies you get. Do you track that or not?
I don't know exactly.
So again, Charlie, sorry. So the other one is, sorry, so
The other one would be like, hey James, thanks for follow. Are you looking to lose body fat or build muscle? Like, let me know and I can send you the best piece of content.
We really get good response on people just asking how long they've been following the page and just starting on roll.
Can you automate it so that you get a new follower with that?
You can't.
You can't know.
Yeah,
and then what's the second salary will be the script?
If someone says so just here for the content, got it. I hope find the content helpful. Then what I'll try to do is find out what their job is. So I'd say, where are you from? I'm from London. Awesome. What do you do in London, James? Oh, you're a banker. Cool. Let's keep you busy. And then it's just like, so tell me like, what do you do outside of work to stay active? And it's from there. It's like go through charities, closure. It's like,
Yeah, it's
what have you tried in the past? Have you worked through coach before? What's your goal?
This is the easiest framework to sell anything if you just think about it.
Yeah, and by the way, on the asking them if they worked with a coach before, that's quite an intrusive question.
Yeah, they get funny about it. 'Cause they know it's the money you're asking. Yeah.
Here's the thing: send them a guide based on what they've said. Once you've given them a guide, they feel like they owe you. So by then you saying, "Are you actually working with a coach?" It's less invasive because you've already given value.
That's so true. Once you give you some free flow over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you set that quite early on.
Especially if you frame it in a way in which you say, "By the way, mate, I've got this guide that I actually think is going to be perfect for you based on what you said and what you want to achieve."
Perfect.
Like even that conversation, I'd make it more direct. I'd be like, oh, you remind me of my client Nick. He actually had the same problems. I actually made this guide for him and it helped him loads. Here you go.
Yeah.
Just like storytell.
Made it for a paid client. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Shoot.
So after all the ads and
Yep.
sales and everything, when somebody signs up, what's the most effective coaching system you think there is?
It's in from a software platform.
Platform or WhatsApp or email or
I would personally say from an app perspective, I like Kahunas. I think it depends on the avatar of client you have. So, for example, the guy who coaches me on email. I'm like, this is the easiest thing in the world. This is great.
yeah.
And I've worked with a lot of different fitness coaches myself, people with apps. I hate spreadsheet, like Google spreadsheet is like, I want to fucking gun to the head. Like, you just want it to be as simple as possible. So if you're, say like James is dealing with like high net worth people, they are used to email, they're gonna like email. So I'd actually probably just give them an email template and like a file to upload a Google link, like super, super simple and not overcomplicate it. Who's your clients you work with?
people mostly like IT employees, businessmen.
Oh, because they're going to be good with tech then. So I'd probably either do email or just an app.
But some of them are not comfortable with email or sheets. Some of them like app. So it's different. Like some people.
Yeah, and you're going to get that all the time, right? So I think, personally, I think WhatsApp is actually really good for coaching people. It just can be difficult to scale. Like if you want to have multiple coaches and a big team, it's then difficult to kind of manage that. So I would personally recommend probably for you then using like a coaching software system.
App is more convenient for me, but when it comes to the client finds sheets or simple WhatsApp text more comfortable. Even if there are videos in the app, they're still, I feel they're a bit lazy to go into the app. And
Yeah, well, it's another thing, kind of, right? So that's what I personally think. Emails actually still it's old school, and like low tech. But if you're working with higher level people, they sometimes just prefer that.
so it's okay to have multiple coaching systems for different types of clients.
I would try and have one for everything across the board, so it doesn't get complicated. Because you need to have it as simple as possible and like a repeatable kind of system. So I would just pick the one that most people like and then just go all down that. And like it's the same thing as you can't appease everyone. It's a bit like we have a Facebook group in school. Like some people like Facebook groups, some people like school. So we want everyone just to use the school group because it's easier for us to have everything in one place. So I would try and push people to one platform that is easiest for you, but also the most people want. Anything else on coaching and fulfillment?
No, I just can you help with the DM basically?
Okay, let's talk about DM conversations as well. Has anyone else got questions on DM messaging and scripts and stuff?
Just getting some feedback from people, like, is this a bot? Is this AI?
Okay. I've got a fucking. Would anyone like a?
One guy he said, "What's your name? What's your IG handle? I work in this AI space. Let me know if this is an automated bot or not." So it said like Adrian McDonald IG handle is this. He's like, got it. Just making sure.
Okay, so here's another really easy hack for everyone.
I bet you didn't buy it. The thing is like when you get people like that.
Well, there's a bit of a.
You've got
Dude.
niche effects already. Somewhere.
Well, we had someone this week who wanted to. They wouldn't work with us unless we gave them our Dubai company registration number. I was like, dude, like we do not want to work with you. Like, fucking go do what you like. Like, goodbye. Like, because as soon as someone's like that, this is like, dude, like this is fucking not a good idea. So, a massive hack for this is on Instagram. You can pin voice notes. So what I would do is I'd have more than one Instagram account. You could then do this. I'd create a bank of maybe like 10 voice notes that your setters could send. In Instagram. And then what I would do, let's say CJ personal account, and then my main account. I will then record on this account, my personal one, and I will send them to my other main account, and then pin the voice notes. And then what we do is we then forward the voice note from this account to the person we want to forward it to. And we can just go back to the conversation with this one to get the voice notes because it doesn't show up as forwarded. Yeah.
Does it not show that it's forwarded? No.
And what would like the sample message feature?
Oh, I don't know, like, so like one pitching a call, for example. Or, thanks for getting back to me. Is it okay if I just ask you a couple more questions? Like just some like whatever comes up as comment, or like someone who's like, oh, is this an AI bot? No, like this is actually Adrian. This is my account. So that's one thing I would do as well. But that would be a good thing for you as well to kind of like improve the setting standpoint. With any other questions on the DM side?
No, just we've had these example numbers which we've had 10,000 new followers in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Not that much spent in $3,000, but we've had one close. That's the level. That's the level.
Yeah, but how many calls have been booked from that though?
It's not the close. I mean, literally, it's like
Okay.
5.
Okay. So then, do you know how many messages have been sent?
Well, this is the thing. Literally, there you go. Like I was saying earlier, right? Only recently, and it was not very visible.
So like the minimum you want, I would say for everyone in this room, is 100 new conversations a day. I'll give you an example. So I'd start with 100 conversations a day. Like I spoke to a coach from Netherlands or something, I think this week, and he makes like 40K a month. He does 34 new messages a day with his setter full time. I was like, what does the fucking do the rest of the day? Like sit on the beach. It's like if he does 3 times that, you're probably gonna nearly make 100 grand a month. So it's like, why don't you just do that? So I would look to try and do 100 a day as a minimum in terms of new conversations that he starts, and then try and do at least like 200 to 300 follow-ups. We do maybe 400 or 500 a day outbound across 2 accounts.
Sorry, sorry.
400 to 500 across 2 Instagram accounts. But I would say 100 is the minimum you want to kind of be looking at, and the setter to kind of follow up 200, 300. Have you got the tagging system set up in your?
Yeah, with follow-up.
Okay, so like.
That's a lot. Are you doing more outbounds than follow-ups?
No. Like,
More follow-ups.
yeah, way more, 3 times as many follow-ups.
So, yeah, I've flipped between these. Like, I've had more success doing more outbound because you're basically starting new conversations.
Yeah, but that's limited. You can't.
Can't do more than that.
Well, there's a point where you can't. Instagram will fuck you, but you can follow up as many conversations as you want. So like
Because you have to just respond.
that's roughly what I look at. It's like a 1 to 3 kind of ratio.
Like, we're hitting 35 conversations a day average at the minute, so you reckon you can get that to 100 with one setter?
What the fuck's he doing?
Can
With that?
AI?
It's not. It can't start conversations. It can reply, but it's not. It will cost you more than it would make. I personally would think. I would say, how many new followers a day do you pick up?
Between 80 and 100.
So why are you not doing 80 to 100 messages a day?
No, yeah, other conversations that come off the back of
Oh, okay.
outbounds or follow-ups.
Yeah, so like, obviously, this is like new messages, sorry, I mean by conversations.
Okay.
So like, obviously, you have to get the person to reply. So like, this would be 100 new
Yeah, so we're doing
engagement.
400 outbound,
Yeah, perfect.
250 follow-ups,
Yeah, bro, your follow-up should be way higher.
and we're getting around 35 conversations. It's not, we have to do a lot to get.
Yeah, so your follow-ups are way too low.
Charlie, what would you say is a good way to get a response on follow-up? Like, I know it's a very broad question.
I had someone send this to me the other day, and it's
About 50%.
and it was funny, to be fair. It was like a screenshot, and it had like Mark Zuckerberg like looking through the window, but like, Charlie, are you there? Question mark. Obviously, someone had to like customize that, but I was like, that's quite good. So like, I would something kind of funny like that, but also you could do the voice note thing. I would do a lot of it is just trying to trigger things, but also even like going on the person's profile, maybe if it's not private, following them.
People love the Borat. He's not Borat, but he looks like Borat, and he goes like down in his chair in the car.
Yeah,
See it?
Homer Simpson's going to the hedge.
Homer Simpson one.
Yeah. Do you get eaten by a crocodile? Like all that type of stuff. So it's kind of like, it's just understanding like not everyone's going to reply, right? It's kind of the game.
Could you just do a generic voice on it, so like that? Like,
Yeah.
hey, I was over in Duke's and
Or like you could even do a generic voice note. We spoke earlier about like mid-August being like, so I would get your setter to follow up with everyone and be like, hey, just want to drop a quick voice note. I know it's middle of August. A lot of people are like looking to try and get cranking again in terms of getting in shape by the end of 2025 before 2026 starts. The 2 biggest mistakes people make are this. If you want help with this, drop me a message back.
With a follow-up, I'm going to say, so say a new follow comes in, you message them with the first message. Then if they don't respond to that first message, which quite often actually, funny enough, my business partner said, Phil Graham, you message them, and the second that he knew it was automated, but he actually responded to the second message when he followed up. You just missed it the first
Yeah.
time. How many of those can you say? Because obviously that's going to go to 100 conversations.
Yeah.
Because it's so the follow-up without a response, say, hey there, whatever it is, the hedge one.
You can send as many of those as you want.
you
They haven't responded yet though.
can unsend messages.
Or you can double tap on them, heart them, and it comes up in their conversation at the top.
If they follow you, you can do as many as you want.
Yeah.
So that's what I was talking about. Sorry. So if you have an ad, there's a follow-up ad, so they follow you.
Yeah.
Can you do as many as you want?
Yeah, you can keep as many.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's only if they don't follow you, it's like a
Oh,
cold.
sorry. So as many, so anyone follows you, so as many.
Yeah.
Really different.
That's why it's the game, is to get them to like
And
follow
then
you.
in the app,
Oh, easy. Okay, fine.
If someone likes your post but they don't follow you, can only send them one because
I
they're not a
understand.
follower. That's technically counted, I think, a code in it.
Yeah, it then goes into requests and
Yeah.
spam.
It's like guys, you go fuck all.
Yeah.
You have 10,000.
But that's also like where you need to, like, the only things I look at every day are like base things you want to look at. It's like how many conversations started, how many follow-ups doing, calls getting booked. Like that's kind of like.
So could we have a target for KPI? Like, what would you say is good for like 8 hours shift on a VA?
Well, like, how many messages a day do you reckon you could send?
Well, we've got one outbound VA that's just outbound. That's all.
How many hours does she do, or he, in one go?
It is, the
Okay.
4.
60 an hour. You can send 1 a minute. It's realistic, I'd say. So that's what, 120, 240. It's 480. and then but a lot of this, so like if you get,
appointment setter, which is different set of KPIs.
yeah, I still say it's 1 a minute.
He's doing the conversations. So it's a bit
Okay, well, even if you say it's 1 every other minute, they're doing, it's what, 250, 300? Like, still kind of like these kind of numbers, right?
And the follow-ups, you say these follow-ups on the field front. Is that what's that count as follow-up?
So that's someone who's basically already been messaged before and they're in the inbox, but you're just trying to re-engage with them, if that makes sense.
So that would be, when you say follow-up, does that mean an active conversation? So say you message them and they message back, or does that count as
Like an individual
AR?
interaction. So like, say I'm a setter and I've already messaged Nick and I'm going to come back and he hasn't replied. Tomorrow, if I message him again, that's a follow-up.
I understand, and that would follow-up also count as an active conversation?
Yeah. Well, if he replies back to me.
regardless of whether they've responded or not. it's still a follow-up.
Yeah.
So the 300
Yeah.
conversation.
The way I would try and break it down is like, I would think, okay, if I sat there, how many messages an hour could I send?
1 a minute.
What 1 a minute I think is very realistic. Like, I think it's kind of
Just think
fair.
about it in terms of our priority, right? You don't want to follow up with a new follower that hasn't responded to your new follow message first. You want to go, right, call offered, call close to the inbox.
Yeah,
and
people
then
are
it's like,
actually warm.
Yeah, you work up the essential.
Yeah.
You go through them first, and then go back
And
to
that's
the
why
next
the tagging
one.
system works the best. Like, you just need to go through your tags.
But that's also why I say, for like James, if your setters aren't performing, that's then where someone has to be like, this is the most frustrating thing I think we spoke about like human beings, is like you can give them the process, the thing to do it, but then like they just don't fucking do the thing. Like, or they do it for a week and then no one pays any attention. And then they start to like not do so many.
Yeah.
Call numbers start to go back and like, and then you look at like, okay, because he hasn't done this. So,
That's exactly what's happening.
so like,
That's the great
How do you
question.
track
Aaron.
that then? It's like,
How do
you
you
know,
track that?
setter says I send 300 outbound messages in my 8-hour shift.
so in Go
How
High
do you
Level,
know that?
if you're using Go High Level, you can go in and see how many active conversations have been done that day.
Is that how you track it? How would you track it if the DMs have?
We get them to send through like an end of day report stating how many they've done, but on Go High Level you can see how many conversations have been done and based on where they are in the tagging thing as well.
Can you do that? Maybe I think that's got a video on that. How that'd be super.
Yeah.
How to see.
Yeah, mine
So
afterwards.
amazing.
Yeah.
And so one last
I'll
question.
get Aiden to do that because he fucking loves that shit. He drives our team insane with this fucking thing.
With the this is another one. So basically, most of our conversations are coming from people that follow us.
Yeah.
On Go High Level, we have an issue that basically you can't.
After 7 days.
How do you know if they follow Go High Level?
They should be tagging them as well. But also on Go High Level, you can't follow up after 7 days, which is why they have to be followed up with consistently. You can also use Meta Business Suite as well at the same time if you wanted to.
Yes, what's the best way? What would you use basically? Because our DMer only uses Go High Level. We have to use Go High Level.
Is he not in the Instagram account?
No, well, I'll tell you what, we use your guy.
Yeah.
But he goes, thank actually Seven did this. He goes to like, where's your VPN? He goes, in Serbia, I haven't got to Dubai. And she said, he's like, so he would have gone on the account, it's got it blocked.
Yeah, but that's where he needs to be logged on to the same VPN account as you guys. So you need to give him, so like you all use the same company. It has to be the exact same.
Oh, you said company.
Yeah, so like say if you're using Surfshark, I would, and my set, I'd just give you our Surfshark login, you log in and connect to the exact same VPN.
So how would you do it? Would you go and say, if he goes to Instagram to basically see new followers, message you through that?
Yeah, that's it.
Follow-ups through
But make sure that when he does that, is that he sends you a screen recording that he's logged in on the VPN. So you give him, here's my VPN logins, Charlie. Here's the app, it's Surfshark. Log in, use Dubai 3 or whatever the VPN is. Send me a screen recording that you are logged into the account, like on that VPN, and then you can log in. Because even if he was using, say you're on Nord, whatever it is, I'm on Surfshark, they're not the same. It's a different IP address.
So he'll log into my VPN.
Yeah,
basically,
the exact same one.
And then he'll basically, the new followers, he would DM from actual Instagram.
Yeah.
And then the basic
And then he can,
conversation used.
yeah, and then on the Go High Level, he can then follow up and tag. Yeah. That will solve. Just make sure he does that. It shouldn't be a massive issue if he didn't, but he just needs to be on your same VPN.
Amazing, thank you so much.
Anything else on DM setting?
Just managing setters.
Okay. Specifically, what about managing setters?
Like just hidden KPIs and like how much time per day would you say that I should spend reviewing conversations from the past day?
I would say how I would kind of break this down is I would do every single person should have a meeting every day with their lead gen. So like, I don't really care who you are, you've got 30 minutes, this is the most important thing of your day. Like I do this, I have a meeting with my sales team every day, 4 o'clock and 4:30. So like this you have to do. This is the most important thing you can do every day. Why? Because you will spot problems quicker than anything else. Also, if you ask, you know if someone's on the ball or not. If I ask you, okay, agents, what's the activity on the Instagram account? How many followers have you had? What's working? What's not? And you're like, what have you done in the last 5 hours? Like nothing. Okay. So you can kind of call people out and you can solve problems quickly, but you can also build team culture because that's one of the big things you want to have within a kind of setting business. One of the reasons I'm not a big fan of kind of Filipino VAs and people from like Asia is it's difficult to then build team culture because it's like you can't really have a laugh at them and kind of mess around, right? So not if you mess around in business, but
so I've 3 meetings a week with setters, and then 2 days they've collected meetings, but it's not with me. Do you think I should ramp it up to 5?
I do just every single day. If you want to make more money, do it every single day.
Meetings with your setters every day?
Yeah. Like Monday to Friday, every single day, same time, like super structured. The other thing I would then do is they have to fill in like an end of day report.
Yeah.
So and basically what you want them to do with this, the way we do this is we get them to do a Loom video to talk over their numbers that they've submitted. And the numbers would be how many messages have they sent, how many new conversations have you started, how many follow-up messages have you done, how many meaningful conversations do you have. I'd actually probably drop that out, it's kind of shit, I don't know why we have that. How many calls are close to booking and how many calls have you booked? The other thing we also track is how many of their calls have shown up that day. So we track the show rate from the setters individually as well, because then we can flag, okay, Adrian's show rate is 100% sales call, James is 50%. Okay, so then we need to look at James's conversations to be like, what is he doing? Or is he just trying to book in calls for call's sake?
And assuming that someone sent, would say 100 outbound, 250 follow-up, 350 for the day, what would you say is a good, calls, or conversation, follow-up rate for
2 to 3. I would sometimes...
1 per 100, so roughly.
Yeah, I say 2 to 3 out is probably going to be fair. What I would... Careful what you wish for in terms of what you incentivize people for sometimes. And what do I mean by that's kind of like a fictitious thing to say, but is if you just push them to book calls, they'll book shit calls.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's like you want qualified calls. So it's like, which is also why you doing calls with the setters every day. So you're like, okay, Charlie, you sent me through this person. They're fucking terrible yesterday. Don't send me this type of person again. This is exactly why. So like you want them to understand like how the calls are going. The other thing I would also do, which helps you train your setters a lot, and this would help you as well, James, with your new guy, is we have a Slack channel with sales call recordings. So what happens after every Zoom call, these get fired into a Slack channel automatically, and then this via Zapier, or actually an AI now called N8N, but similar kind of thing. And they can then go and watch the sales calls they've set. So they understand the whole process more and more because you want to make them fully aware of like from follower to close what it kind of looks like so they understand the process. And they can listen to those whilst they're setting.
Okay.
How many hours per day should you be looking to employ someone to be a DM setter?
Depends how much volume you have in terms of traffic. So I would say for most people, you want to have someone like full-time, kind of 8 hours a day. So like 2 4-hour shifts. One of the big mistakes a lot of people do is they have someone they do 8 hours in one go. It's like, dude, there's no way someone's sitting there for 8 hours. Like you're going to fucking gun in the mouth. Like
Is it good
just
to have maybe 2 setters, like one in the morning?
I would probably, it's easier to manage less people. So I'd ideally have one person who maybe they do, okay, Adrian, I want you to work from 8 till 12 and then go work out for 2 hours, go do whatever you want, and then work from 2 till 6 or something. The most important thing is having them actually on your account in peak hours when people are going to be on their phones. So you have to think about, if you're looking to target the UK and maybe the US, you want to be making sure your setters are online on their evenings, because that's when people are most likely to book a call, not going to be at 5 a.m. in the morning.
If you're going to have two setters, command split between different
Yeah.
platforms now, would you put separate setters, like say, two, one in LinkedIn and Facebook?
Yeah,
one in
I
Instagram,
would split them across into different accounts. So like, okay, so they have full responsibility of one thing. And at
One
a,
for LinkedIn, one for Instagram.
yeah, and at a certain point, I would then have, when you've got a lot of volume, is that we have two per account on Instagram to cover the volume. So we have had a lot more than that in the past, but I think, in my opinion, if you have highly skilled people who have a brain, you don't need as many people, if it makes sense.
Where are most of your sellers from, Jerry?
Eastern Europe now.
That guy.
Alexa, yeah. So we've got, we had another guy who started yesterday, Vukasin or something. I don't know.
Are they good?
Yeah, he's good. He's like, I didn't even know, but he'd started on TikTok and he booked a call. So like, I was like, okay, that's cool. So I think he's from Serbia, I think.
Do you just do one person per platform?
Not on Instagram, we have 2 per account. And then on the other platforms, we have 1. But ideally, not now. We do 16 to 18 hours coverage on each, probably.
Okay.
If you were running a lot of DM ads, I'd probably say you want 24-hour coverage. But outside of that, I wouldn't be too kind of concerned. If there's like a gap of like 4 or 5 hours, which is not the peak time anyway, I wouldn't be too kind of alarmed.
Just on that, so it's like if you're like preaching up, get to bed early, and then it's like someone gets a message freaking 3 a.m. It's like,
Well, it's kind of what I mean, right? So it's like if you like you having setters in your account from like at 2 a.m. in the morning, it's kind of like if you're dealing with an intelligent person, but like, well, why the fuck is James messaging
that's
me?
what
And
I'm
it's like
thinking with,
3 a.m. in Dubai. Like I wouldn't.
So would you say it's just not worth it? If it's like
If you've got enough message, if you've got a genuine problem where you're waking up in the morning and there's like 200 unreplied messages, then yeah. But if you're like, if not, I would probably just leave it. Because like one of the big things actually sometimes is less is more. If you have less team members, but they're way better, and it's easier to manage, they actually will outperform like twice as many bad people. If that makes sense. And also they tend to have more ownership of the thing if there's like a smaller team. Yeah. Whereas it's that whole thing of like, okay, if your sole responsibility is I want you to book this many calls and it's just you, you're accountable for this number. Where if there's like 4 of you on the account, kind of no one's kind of accountable.
I was going to ask something. The boards app, how is that linked? Have you heard of the boards app?
Which one, sorry?
The boards app. Oh yeah.
Where's it?
You use it. Is that for set?
Just use, just put all the messages in there, just click.
Okay. Because I hired a VA from the Philippines, and
Yeah.
he said that he uses the boards app to like organize everything.
A lot of people use stuff like that, Trello, loads of kind of different things. I think you can save stuff in quick replies if you wanted to as well. Just depends kind of what system that you want to use. What I would say is make sure you have a uniformity. So if you've got more than one setter, that everyone's doing the same thing. And I would say often when you bring in any system, there's always going to be resistance where like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to use this, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. But like, you have to kind of like make them do it. And then after like 2-3 weeks, I'll be like, Max, this was sick. This is such a good idea. It's like, oh, maybe you told me this is really bad, but that's people don't like change.
Just need to be careful with that, the expert, and not use that as a guide, because otherwise just becomes robotic, because they're doing the same message.
Yeah, and at that point, you might as well just put fucking AI on it, because it's like, that's why I same thing for sales closing. DM scripts are frameworks where people need to actually think and use their brains rather than just like copy and paste. Because it literally becomes like,
That's what happened with my last setter. She was just basically clicking and you just send them the same message over and through. It's a robot basically. Where now with the new setter, I put it on a spreadsheet, all the messages. He'll read that and then
and you were saying you've had big improvements since the last month ago, right?
Yeah. Who did you get him from? Who did you get him with?
It's a Serbian guy. I consider his name Alexa. He like trains and places in people's businesses. So like we've hired fucking loads of him. you can hire for anything.
He's trying to sell me ads, by the way.
As in like an ads to run your ads.
Yeah, that is my agent.
Probably not. It's like I would recommend anyone runs.
He's blown up in parts. He's blown up. He's Serbia. In Serbia, he's doing really well. And he's
I personally wouldn't.
I think yeah. Okay.
Just my honest advice.
Is that guy Alexa Charlie?
Yeah. For the setters and stuff, because like, in my opinion, the biggest thing you want is people who've got work ethic, and the Eastern Europeans have that. It's like they just fucking grind.
I burned through 3 of them first. I mean, Jesus. I thought that, and I've finally got another Serbian guy. He's mint. But the first 3, they wanted to, like, red flags were like, they wanted to just work on them about.
Well, but that's like I said, like it's also being like, this is the fucking system, dude. You either do the system or you go work somewhere else.
Exactly, yeah.
Like it's kind of, and you have that from day one.
VPN and you don't log in and out every day. And the next day you went out and bought a brand new phone specific for the job. Like, that's the level of this way. How much are you paying? He's on commission only, so
It's going to take for 6 months.
all that is £50, 50 euros gross sale, and then for the first 10 we got a €100 bonus, and then every 5 after that gets another 100. So
Some of them are happy just to do commission only. It's like we've got the guy we have in TikTok's commission only. We've got another Romanian kid who's on the commission only. Who wasn't from him, but
Charlie, for the opt-in form, just going back to the ad, do you think if we want to just ping them on Instagram, is it better to leave out the number because people might be more skeptical to share the number versus?
no, I would always get that. You want as much data as possible.
Yeah. But would you say that could reduce your conversion rate?
It could, but then like, yeah, like if someone's going to be difficult about that, I'm like, bro, like, yeah, yeah. It's like I said about that guy earlier who wants a Dubai company. I'm like, bro, you could fucking like no chance we can touch you because like, as soon as anyone asks for anything weird, I'm like you just yeah. There's some weird thing going on with something like that. So yeah, so like it's kind of like you said about the setting. If there's anything, even with a prospect that's a red flag, just don't take them because it will cause you so much ball ache on the back end. It's not worth the money.
Yeah, refund only the week is just pain straight away.
Yeah, it's
Come back to it if you want to start in one time.
anything else setting wise? If we cover that, content sales. Does anyone have any?
No, it's not about you. My question is almost like it was a bit of a back and forth. I'll say, this is where I'm at in the business.
Yeah.
Like, what problem am I having? Because sometimes I find like, okay, yeah, I've got a problem with content, I've got a problem with setting, I've got a problem with blah blah blah, whatever. There's always problems, of course, but it's actually knowing which lever to pull because we all know that you can only do so much in a day. It's like, are you focusing on the right thing and not getting
Distracted. Yeah, so like what you just said to me about Alexa and all that, like that's a distraction. And like,
Yeah.
so if I was like, from just some of the things you said today, if I was looking at a really easy thing to fix, would be like the follow-up numbers need to be higher.
Yeah.
Like if you, what would you say is your bottleneck in your business? Calls booked?
I suppose so, yeah. Qualified calls booked, yeah.
So how many calls a month do you book roughly, or a week?
Well, no, easily per month is 50.
Okay, so if you book 50 calls
Which
a
I
month,
know is quite low. Like, my problem is that I have been very, very, like, I'll give you a quick, brief 1 minute overview. So, revenue-wise, pretty flat for a long time. But what I've been doing is sort of fixing, I would say, underlying problems, which now will allow me to go and grow. So one of my problems is I don't spend enough money.
Yeah.
So I spend 3 to 4K a month. So I know that once I ramp that up, I'll get more revenue. But the reason I've not done that is because there was always an underlying issue that stopped me from doing that. So for example, if I had a shit setter in the account, there's no point in me spending more money to put more in the DMs that ain't going to convert.
Oh, 100%.
So I've fixed the setter problem. Now I've got a really shit hot setter. My own sales calls are much better. I've gone through a shitload of training on that. Watched so many of my own videos, it's insane. So I'm closing a lot better now. Then it was an ads thing. So it was like, okay, the content for the ad was pulling in £1.50 per follow. That's shit. I was getting worse. we've got it now to 50p. So it's like, okay, I feel like I've got everything now in line. It's like actually, it's funny, isn't it? You start talking out loud and then you answer your own question.
You know the answer.
I know what the answer is already.
Yeah, it's just like, so I've taken the spend, well, but more specifically then, if the answer is spending more money, then...
That's part of the answer, but it's not necessarily.
Okay, cool.
So
that's why I'm
what's
here.
the revenue? What's the revenue at the moment, if you want me asking?
Yeah, so the revenue, like I have had some shit, man. Like June was terrible. We only signed 3 clients.
On average.
One thing I've focused a lot on is re-signs. But anyway, yeah, revenue last month was 26, so it was really low for me.
What's the average last 3 months?
Oh, average is 34.
Okay, so let's say, okay, and then your DMs, how many, and the only ads you're running are to boosted reels, right? So
That's part of the thing. It's like, I'm maxing that, probably not maxing that out because I'm spending basically between 100, well, it's £110 a day at the minute.
Okay.
So,
and then what's the direct return on this from messaging new followers? How much do you know what the ROAS roughly is on that?
ROAS on ads at the minute, just for we've literally gone from 3 boosted reels now. We're basically slowly going down to 1 because it's the best one. So I've slowly taken spend down on these, increased it on that. ROAS is 3 to 1.
Okay, and then that's kind of where you want roughly. And then your DM numbers, remind me, what's that look like from new conversation, like outbounds a day and then follow-ups?
So outbounds a day, we're up at 300. Follow-ups is less, about 150.
Okay.
Which we know is part of an issue, for sure.
Okay, and then, and you've just got one setter, right?
And conversations is like 35. So that's not, in terms of, yeah.
And you've just got one DM setter?
2, got an outbound setter, and then someone doing conversations and follow-ups.
Okay, and then how many hours are they both doing? 8?
8, yeah.
Okay. I personally think, is the Serbian dude the guy doing the follow-ups and like the conversations?
Follow-ups and conversations, yeah, he's booking in. But mate, like I know there's probably room here. That's probably what you're going to say, is there's part of this is like there's room. We've not hit a ceiling at all. But he is by far and away the best setter I've ever had.
Oh, dude.
He cares. He wants to do well. The setting quality in the conversation is good.
Who's doing this? Who's this?
So that's Yasmin. She's a Filipino. But actually, we've got a really good culture between the two of them as well. They're bouncing off each other well. I know I just need to put a bit more pressure on them to increase the numbers, maybe.
The bottleneck. And what's your program price?
So I'm actually keeping it simple now. I'm just doing 2K for 6 months.
Okay, and then what's your close rate on that?
The close rate this month is 52.
Okay, and then do you know what your churn rate is?
To be honest, off the top of my head, I don't, but churn's pretty good. Like, we don't get a lot of churn. Oh, yeah, maybe 5%. Okay.
This is the problem. So, like, what I would say for you, how are you paying the new Serbian dude who's good?
How am I paying him?
Yeah.
1K base, 5% commission off sales.
Okay, so this number you need to kind of get up. I don't know whether you try and get potentially this lady or someone else. You need to drive that up. That's way too low.
Yeah. We can split the responsibility between the two and get them just to hit it.
Because if you double that to 300 follow-ups, that's an extra 4,500 conversations reopened a month. You're going to book 20 more calls probably, I'd guess.
Yeah.
Like if half of them show up and then you
well,
close half, that's 10K.
Our show rate's amazing because we've got a bit of just a system in place to sort of nurture them. We don't stop the conversation after the call's booked.
If you do that though, dude, like if say you take that from 150 to 250 to 300, I reckon you book another 20 calls a month. So then let's say it's even 10 and that your shop rate's really good. If you close half of them, that's 10K extra a month, which is like 25% increase in the business.
Yeah.
So like that for me, you just look at the math, that's the problem. So it's like, how can you, I would ask Serbian dude, it's like, okay, cool. Is there a way you can up the numbers in terms of the follow-ups you're doing in terms of re-engaging people? Yeah. Or getting the other Filipino, giving her, when he's not on shift, a 2-hour block of when she's following up. Because you can't, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I guess if you're following up, but there needs to be someone there in the DMs to actually take the conversation as well. Part of it's coverage. That's a little bit of an issue, maybe.
What is in? There's big gaps.
Well, Saturday and Sunday is an issue because one works one works the other. They both get a day off on the weekend, so.
Okay, so then the third option to this is you get one more setter.
Yeah.
And then they work.
But can have like almost like a part-time setter that's like doing less hours but covers.
Well, I would have one
whatever's not
setter
being
that they work Saturday, Sunday full time, and then they take off Monday, Tuesday or something. So they take off 2 days during the week, because that will then balance out that. But that's where the current bottleneck is. And I would also say, even if you could nudge that up a little bit, because what you want, like that's scalable, you can spend more. And also what you see with ads is that when you increase the ad spend, you actually make more money a lot of the time because you get more lucky with more better people kind of coming through at higher ticket prices. So for me, that's kind of like the obvious one. Are you using any other platforms other than IG?
No.
I personally, something that's super low hanging fruit is, Adrian, you're booking calls on LinkedIn, right?
Booking call, yeah, maybe 1 or 2 a week.
Like,
I just have one setter, and she just sends the first message, and then I do the rest. That's the most. Well,
that's the hardest part.
That's the hardest platform, yeah.
So
Yeah.
But like, if that makes me an extra 12k a month for sending messages 20 minutes a day, it's like, it's gonna lose my time.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So like that's the reason why, because I knew that was the case. I would say for you, the other thing is, even if you bought, it would be that platform. Why? Because it has the highest amount of organic reach at the moment. It's also the easiest to make content for.
And they're like the best sales.
And they're the best fucking people. Like they're good people. And if I were you, dude, I would also probably just double the price of what you're charging on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So like if you did that and then that, you're probably going to do 50 to 60k consistently.
Yeah.
Which is a big jump without really spending any more.
So the jump to LinkedIn, is it a completely, obviously it's different, I don't like to say script, but there must be some sort of framework that we use or content strategy as
all
well.
you're going to look to do in terms of the content is the best things that work on that. So you can use AI to write the captions for you. It's really easy. Just use a lot of lifestyle images. Make sure when you post them, the square crop, not like 6x9. And then what I would also do is you can story tell them. If you look at a lot of the content I post on LinkedIn, a lot of it does really, really well at the moment. A lot of it's like more lifestyle stuff than necessarily like direct business stuff or like kind of topical things. Because all you're looking to try and do is get content to get pushed out into the platform. People view your profile, and then you can then basically pick off the people who click on your profile, because they're clicking on your profile because they're interested in fitness. So that's why. No. I personally wouldn't recommend. Sales Navigator I would use, but LinkedIn ads I wouldn't recommend because the cost is so high. Like that compared to Facebook, it's very difficult.
Do you actually need Sales Navigator to be able to do this?
No, you can just literally just message people on your profile.
Cold messaging in Sales Navigator.
You can. It's kind of.
Not very well.
I don't think so. I think what I look for is like, what's the easiest thing you can do? Like, this will take you 25 minutes a day. Like, I post on LinkedIn myself every day and just literally because I actually quite like the platform. I'll just write caption, image, bang. Like, and just use AI to do the caption for me, and then pull people into your profile. People who visit the profile, you can then just message, or people send you connection requests. Like, really, really simple. Even if you just did that, it would take you like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not really an excuse.
It's not.
You send them like it tells you a birthday, you send them a birthday.
Yeah.
So you send them a
You
congratulations
send
on
a
the
lot.
job role.
Yeah.
You're trying to grow. You send a lot of connection requests.
So you only do 195 a week.
Connections.
Yeah.
Yeah. People who maybe come up as suggested or like mutual connections. If you can also get your clients to connect with you on LinkedIn and then leave you recommendations, also helps a lot. For your avatar of who you want to target, it works well as well.
Mate, you're singing to my tune saying LinkedIn. It's just I've not done it yet. I've not really cracked it yet. But funnily enough, we've been posting on it consistently, just not really done anything. It's like people might have been viewing the profile. I've no idea. I've not been looking at it.
The content that works on that platform is very different than the other stuff. It's the easiest platform to post on by far, and has the most organic reach.
So
Which is true, right?
I just post what I do on LinkedIn on Facebook.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Literally just can't fucking, it's this.
So I get a feel of that too.
Nice.
So like that for me, dude, is
I
like,
just have a doc of like
60 pieces of content, and it's like everyone's linked to a picture, so it's like it's 2 months and just might add to that.
Have you tried that the tool automation while Schema?
A lot of the automation tools on LinkedIn I find are a bit shit, and they tend to also get a lot of the accounts shut down. So a lot of LinkedIn profiles can get restricted for that, so it can cause problems. So like that's one thing you kind of have to be careful with, and also having multiple setters in your account kind of spamming stuff, because it can cause problems.
Charlie, is there a meta business suite equivalent for LinkedIn that you can tag?
No. LinkedIn doesn't want you kind of spamming and selling people essentially. But like for you, it's not a platform you can necessarily scale to like 100K organically, but you can make an extra 10 to 15K.
Yeah, you think it's pretty reasonable doing 4K for 6 months? Yeah.
Yeah, easy. What do you sell on LinkedIn?
Usually just 24 to 36.
Yeah. So like I would push the prices on that.
Yeah.
But dude, you can also see everyone's back history if they come through. So like, you can see their job title, where they went like, okay, went to fucking Harvard, he works at JP Morgan. I'm like, okay, cool.
I had a guy 25 years in Deloitte the other day. I didn't close him. I couldn't believe it on a 2K. I could not believe it.
But,
the pain was
that's
so
not
high
going
as
to be
well.
that's not going to be a
It was
pricing
circumstance.
thing.
It was a circumstantial thing. He just split from his wife and all this, and they had a lot of fear behind like what's coming next. And I was like, you need to just maybe sort that, and we'll speak in a couple of months. But mate, that was class. Cool. Thank you,
Ross. Isn't it? Anyone else got any specific questions? I think we're going to get kicked out for a second, Mike. We're running out of time, Mike. Oh shit! I didn't really like one. Anything else specific? Cool. Helpful. Cool. Get a group photo or something. If you guys enjoy these, we'll keep doing them frequently because it's like easy for us to do and it's nice.